On the back straightaway, into turn number 3, thick thin, still 3 wide, Brandon Feeney, high, wide, and handsome. He's going to go to the outside and get past Camillo.
I don't mean to be two birds and bees with you folks, but this is how cautions are born.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. We got APC late model former champion Joe Lawrence. How you doing tonight?
So far, so good. Keeping busy.
So, obviously you won the championship. I think it was back during COVID, 2021, I think it was.
2020. Yep.
I was close.
It was close.
And then you took some time off because you had family stuff going on, and then you won a Bonestock championship down at Delaware.
Yep.
So, you've driven a lot of things. What's it like jumping from like a super competitive APC series car to like one of your brother's Bonestocks? Like, is it a big change for you, or is it?
No, like honestly, like I enjoy racing, so I'll drive whatever's available to me. I've always had fun that way. It's just, I would say like, APC is very competitive and it's a lot more serious. But I feel like you go down to Bone Stocks and there's that same competitiveness. It's a lot more, I guess I'd say, laid back. You don't have as near as much invested in a Bone Stock as you do a late model. So it's definitely like at the track you're more relaxed, I feel like, when you're racing Bone Stocks. But as far as like going on the track, there's just as much of competitiveness in the Bone Stock as there is a late model. Everyone's there to win and do their best, so you're just racing a different class of guys. That's all.
Yeah, because basically the motor you guys are running APC costs like an entire Bonestock fresh build for you guys.
Oh, now more. The prices have just only gone up, but they do a good job trying to help us. We're on APC's introduced a practice tire inventory, along with a couple other rules that are they're trying to help save money and put everybody on a level playing field as well, which is it's you don't really ask for that. So the fact that they're doing it and they're trying it shows that they want you out there and they want everyone out there that can be out there.
Well, because racers, we're our own worst enemies because we all want to go faster. It's an addiction. That's how we move from bone stocks to mini stocks, super stocks, pro late models, et cetera, et cetera. It's because we want to just drive faster. And then faster means more money. And if somebody doesn't stop us, we will just outspend ourselves and then have to be forced out of racing. And it's just, that's how it always works. So we need tracks and promoters and stuff to be like, no, this is what you're racing as. We are not allowing this, and this. Like, you are stuck with it, deal with it.
Oh yeah, definitely agree with that, in the sense that just, as much as we argue and fight it with them and all that fun stuff, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to do what's best for the racing world and the industry to keep it going as long as possible.
So let's talk about your new race team this year. You've joined the elite racing team. You're running some ASA starts around the APC series. Was that two separate cars that you had for the ASA, or was it the same car?
Nope, it is two separate ones. So we decided, unfortunately, our ASA season just didn't start out the way anyone would want their season to start with. But that's a part of racing, so we opted to just take a little step back and just kind of regroup with that program. We're hoping to come out later in the year with it. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go with it. We're always looking for support. Sponsors that want to come on board are always welcome. So we're always willing to work with guys in that sense. But we just needed to take a step back. Obviously, as a team, we want to go and win, and we want to perform at the level that all those guys are. It takes a lot, so we took a step back with that one. So we weren't really sure. We started, obviously the ASA series started earlier, so we were just fully committed to that, and we weren't really sure where it was going to take us from there. Ideally, it would have been awesome to do the full season and support that. But with that being said, we were interested in doing some APC. We just weren't sure to what extent. But ultimately, we opted to get another car for that series, and this is pretty much where we're at with it right now. I don't follow points too much. I think I'm sitting third or fourth right now, so it hasn't been a bad year. I couldn't ask for any more out of a team to be where we're at right now. every time we're out, we keep getting better and better. So I think we're knocking the door on that win here soon.
And that's the kind of thing is like the last few years, you haven't been like the dominant force in the APC series. Even last year, with before you got the the new wrap and everything on the car when you just had the black car, you were just there. Like you were on podiums. Like people knew that every week you guys unloaded, they had to beat you because you were going to be a podium if they didn't push their cars. And you kind of follow this in with the new car, the new team. And is that just like your driving style? Like you get the most out of your equipment, or is it like the team's putting like a top quality car out each week plus that? Or is it just like everything is so close, it's just that's how the luck plays out?
Ah, I think it's a lot of everything, I'll be the one that says it takes driver, it takes team, it takes like your at track performance isn't just dictated by the guy behind the wheel. So I would definitely say, it takes a lot of work to be winning at these levels. And then obviously over the years here, I just think as a whole, there's been a lot of teams that have improved and stepped up. So, anyone from the top 10 could finish in that top 3 finishing, depending how the race played out. Last year, I take it as the one Flamborough race, we were pretty down and out. We just didn't have a good day. Not to blame anyone. It was just, wasn't our day. We couldn't get the car to where I needed it. And we just weren't having luck go our way the entire race. And then I think it was 10 to go, maybe we were like 15th. And then we just had a series of cautions. And then all of a sudden we had just got our way up to 4th, just with playing the choose cone and the luck of getting down in time. So it's, there's so many factors that go into winning one of these races. And, unfortunately, some of it is luck and some days it's not your day.
So with saying that about like how competitive the field is, APC introduced the home track program where guys that run their pro late models at their home tracks and stuff are allowed to race, such as like Dan McCaddy, who came out of Peterborough. I don't know if it's been as much of a factor in any of their tracks. Do you like that this is like trying to encourage guys to maybe run the series full time? Is it a new challenge for you guys? Like, what's it like for a normal team to have like some of these home track teams coming in? Is it good? Is it bad?
I think everybody's opinion on that will be different. Mine personally, I love it. If I'm gonna I'm out there to try and win and be the best on track. And to me, it's even more satisfying if I can go out there and beat, that home track local guy that's one of the top notch guys. If I can go out there and beat them on an APC night, I love having them there, and I love adding to the car count, and it just adds to that competitiveness. So I would have loved to get up there and race Dan. He had a really good car and he drove a great race. I did feel like, again, I'll say just the way races play out, I felt if there was a caution that laid out a little bit differently for me, I think I had a car that it could have at least pushed him to his limit, but he would have been really hard to beat that night.
Yeah, all the stars seemed to align for him that night. I'm gonna, take credit for having the Feeney call sticker on the car.
That's fair.
Only car in the field that had the Feeney call sticker in it, and it was a fast car that night.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm missing.
But you guys did well yourself. You guys started deep in the field. You did the slow, methodical Joe Lawrence typical race. Pick your smart shots, make your passes, play your choose cones, and I think you finished 3rd that night.
I ended up 4th, just outside.
That was close. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, it's too long ago.
So when you're racing, obviously a bunch of different cars. So what all stuff have you raced, and what do you find the most amount of fun?
Oh, my problem is I enjoy everything. It's all fun. I just think they're all fun for, like you said, different reasons. I love late models for the speed and that kind of aspect, I guess the precision of just how perfect you have to be on a race day just to be one of those front guys. If you're off half a tenth, that's that's big when you show up to the APC races. So, that is the aspect I enjoy there. Bonestock is a whole different thing. They're not near as fast, and especially it's kind of funny when you hop out of a late model or even like the super late model stuff, and then you hop in a Bonestock. It almost feels like the straightaways feel like you're just like walking. You're just like, wow, these are way longer than I remember. But like once you get to the corner, you're like, okay, now we're feeling it. But like a Bonestock, you drive those things as hard as you possibly can for the 20 or 25 laps that you get to run. So it's just a different kind of race. And then obviously, you go to Delaware where they got like 40 of them. The starts are just so chaotic. You're not going to have those in kind of any other series. That just like you hit the green flag and all of a sudden there's 3-4 wide and you're just like, oh, where am I going now? And that's what I enjoy about those things.
Yeah, pick a gap and hope it stays there.
Yep.
So we got a couple fan questions I'm going to sneak in here. So Ashley McMartin wants to know, what do you find is the biggest hurdle racing today compared to years gone by?
Oh boy, that's a good one. I would think it's I would have to say it's just the precision as far as what you need to bring to the track for a car. I feel like back then it was, I don't want to say it's more in the hands of the driver than what it is now, because you need to still have a driver. But I feel like the driver back then could make up for a bad car. You could take a 15th place car and go run up in the top 3 back then, where I feel like now if you have a 15th place car, you're pushing your luck if you're sneaking in the top 10 kind of thing.
Right. And so then from Lakeside Mobile Tire Motorsports, they want advice for a rookie driver.
Advice for a rookie driver at a specific track or just in general?
I think we'll go just in general.
Honestly, I think the best advice is just trying to talk to guys. I feel like as a new driver, you show up and sometimes you get, I don't want to, I guess I'll say nervous, or you're cautious with who you talk to. But to me, racing's a family, and my personal opinion is that I want to beat you on the racetrack. I want to go hand in hand and be the better driver, have the better outcome. I don't want to beat you because you're struggling and you're having issues on the pit side of things, or just trying to figure out your own driving. I want to beat you because we straight up raced and I just came out on top that time. So I would say just ask, don't be afraid to ask questions or talk to guys in person. There's a lot of guys out there that are willing to give you advice and talk to you, even if you think I've had a couple of people talk to me about Bonestocks, and they've been afraid to come up because I'm running APC series, and it's I'm at the moment I'm serious about it and very focused, but I'm always willing to talk to a guy, and if they have specific questions, never be afraid to ask. You the worst you'll get is I don't have time for this right now, or something like that. Or there are some guys out there that don't want to help, but I think you can figure out before you ask that question who's the go-to to talk to.
I don't think I've ever run into a guy that refuses to help, but unfortunately you will find some of those people that if you're running super close to them, they'll give you absolutely backwards advice.
Yeah, you got to be careful there. So that's I said we ran Sauble on the weekend, and it was pretty funny. I talked quite a bit to Tom Gibbons throughout the day, and after the first feature, he came over and asked a question, and I said, "Nah, you're too fast. I can't help you anymore." He beat me in the first one, so but obviously just joking around with that. Like we help each other a lot, so it was nice to it's always nice to have guys you can talk to and bounce back and forth. There's a lot of things you can do with a race car, so the more support and more help you have, the more fun you're gonna have is the most important thing, but the better you'll be performance wise too.
So we got one more fan question. I feel it's like from one of your buddies here.
Oh boy.
So Wally Wilson says, what wouldn't you do for a post-race ice cream? And what's the best track you've ever been to?
Oh boy. I feel like Wally should know my answer for the racetrack because I've never been able to pick a racetrack that's my favorite. I just enjoy going to racetracks. So all tracks I find, I've never, even the ones that I start out not good at, I usually figure out eventually. But every track I've been to just has its own unique characteristics and things like that that just make it, the track it is and make it something you like to go to. So I don't really have a favorite track because I just, if I'm at a racetrack, I'm happy.
You're
So
ki-
that's
you're
the way I look at it.
you're kind of like me. You just like crossing off new tracks off your list. So
Yeah,
like if you haven't raced here and you get to race there, you'd be like, that was awesome. I got to cross off. So like I'm going to Sobel this weekend, and I've never been there. I've never run a car there. We're running with the CGC group, and I'm running a Bonestock in a kind of car I've never ran. So I'm like, we're crossing a lot of stuff
perfect.
off here. I'm probably not going to be fast, but we're doing it for charity and stuff like that, and
We're gonna
hoping
have a
for the
good time
best.
doing it.
So another thing I've started is I try to find tracks that have the best track food, right? So like you go to Peterborough, they're known for their French fries and their brownies, right?
Brownies.
You don't know about the brownies at Peterborough?
No,
They have
man,
like
I'm
the
out on
best
this.
they have like the best brownies in the world, bro.
Wow. Well,
They
I
get
guess I'm
like
coming back at the end of the year now.
so you get like a I don't know how they package them because I usually just buy yes. But yeah, they literally give you it's a homemade brownie that once they're like that thick with like frosting and everything on the top, and like oh, there's no one ever has trash talked a Peterborough brownie.
Alrighty, I'm gonna have to try this now. So
Well, actually, one person has, and they're diabetic, and that was why.
okay, well that's fair.
So if like you have health issues, enjoy in moderation.
Okay,
But
I'm
yeah,
I'm good as of now, so we're gonna have one for sure.
well, they just get the team to get a whole bunch for the team, and away you go.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
is there like a favorite track food you have if you're going to different tracks? Like, what's a go? Like, I know a lot of us don't eat before we race, but if like you get to race and like the pit concessions are still open, is there a go-to track food you'd have?
Uh, no. Well, I love ice cream. And that was where Wally's coming at with his question. There is a solid chance after every race if I can find a place to get ice cream, then that is where you will find me. Um, the After the Delaware APC race, I'm pretty sure Wally was with us, but we ended up at McDonald's and got some McFlurries and headed back to the campground after to have some fun. But so I know Sunset has ice cream, so I'm pretty oftenly on top of getting ice cream from there. But as far as that, I don't. I get pretty focused on the race cars, and my brother and my own crew on the elite racing team will vouch for that. That I kind of get consumed by what I need to do with a race car to win a race. Um, I have people in place to make sure I eat food.
So,
So
so you want the good news or the bad
yeah,
news?
ah, start with the good news.
Well, the good news is Peterborough Speedway is getting ice cream.
Okay,
They are supposed to be getting a Cortha Dairy booth.
excellent.
So like hand scoop like Cortha Dairy ice cream. I don't know if you've had Cortha Dairy ice cream,
It's been a while now, but
but
I have.
it's pretty good.
Yes.
So you'll have to see if if they stay up like or someone will get you some in the last few laps. That way it's still cold when they get it to you.
Yeah,
But
there we go. I think Peterborough is convincing me to come down for that last race at the end of the year,
yeah,
autumn color.
I don't know if they'll have it for that.
Oh no.
I will.
Well, the brownies already got me sold, so we're
Oh,
coming regardless. So
I'm fat guy friendly. Could you imagine like having the ice cream with the
oh
brownie?
yeah, I've already thought about this.
Like death by chocolate ice cream with brownie. There's a new combo for Peterborough
I,
Speedway right there.
I'm on board.
Right? We're just secret fat kids that like race cars.
Yep.
So back to the racing. Obviously, you're racing all the APC races and stuff like that. Do you have like any postseason plans like after the APC championship's done? Are you gonna run like in some of your brother's cars? Are you gonna run for like Frosttoberfest, Great Canadian Weekend, anything like
Um,
that?
yeah, I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest, but that's definitely what we'll definitely be in race cars of some sort after APC ends. So we are, like I said, we are hoping to do some more ASA at the end of the year. So they're racing into November, I believe. So they'll have a couple races that we will hopefully get ready for, and we're regrouped as far as the car goes and the team and being prepared to go to the track. We just need to we've agreed that we want to hit some practice days. If we're gonna, I'll throw the example of Nashville's in November at the end of the year. If we can go there and do a practice day, and then like a month prior, and then come back and be able to go through the car and analyze what we learned and just help us go back and be more prepared to be a top runner. That's kind of what we're looking to do here for a couple races.
Yeah, go get like a baseline on the tracks that you haven't got the experience or the notebooks for. Basically, give you something to start with instead of because I understand like if you go to certain tracks, you like around here, you can keep similar style setups. Like I know you'll still change stuff for like gears and small things here and there. Like obviously, like you'll get like a full throttle if you go up there. It's a whole different setup than running, say, Delaware.
Yeah.
But like I feel like you could run Sunset and Peterborough with minor changes.
Yes and no. I think it's dependent on the class too. Um, I always say Sunset's a lot different. It can look similar, but I always feel like Sunset's just its own animal. It's definitely I've been there with good cars. I've been there with bad cars. It's definitely not fun to drive bad cars there.
No. If you drive a bad car, you're on the top.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm so good on the top. I don't think I've had okay cars there, but I've never had a car that's had like outright speed. And it's like, well, if I go to the top, it's gonna be a real pain in the butt to freaking pass me.
Yep.
And well, here's the thing: is you get towards the end of a run. I'm assuming it's worse with the late models when having the 100 or more lap features and stuff like that. As people wear their stuff, they're checking up on the bottom, so you can run your natural speed on the high line, and then you get that little bit of outside momentum boost down the straightaway where you can actually make up ground
Yeah.
just on the checkups.
Yeah, and I love how two grooved racetrack Sunset is. It's so much fun.
Well, I feel like it can be more than that, but nobody's brave enough to go where the marbles need to be blown off.
Yeah. We
Well,
can wait. We'll let someone else do that.
yeah. We'll wait for like the first 3 or 4 cars to go up there, see what happens, and then we'll try it. But do you have like a favorite racing memory so far, other than winning like the APC championship or stuff like that?
Uh, um, I don't know. Again, I'm terrible at picking favorites. I've been racing a while now. There's been a lot of good times. Um, I would say last year winning at Sunset with the Pro Late model, just how home built that team was. Chris and I worked a lot to build that chassis, prepared it from the ground up in our own shop. Just as a family to do that was definitely it. That would be one of the ones that, if not the best memory I have, is right up there as one of the top ones.
I like hearing the story about that as well, because I believe it was Phil won the Bonestock race right before it. And you guys get the message of we don't have time for a BT racing celebration. And he said, hold my drink and watch this. So obviously with the BT racing celebration of climbing the fence after you guys win, was that just something like you and your brother started? Like, where did that start?
That was all my brother. You'll have to ask him. I don't know. I honestly don't know where he decided that was what it's gonna be. But that was all him, and he carries it along with him so far, and it was definitely we have a great picture of us doing it at Sunset, so it's it's one of those ones that just adds to the memory of being unique and singled out as one of the special ones.
Is there any fences that would worry you about doing that?
Um, that's a good question. I don't think so. Um, Obviously, I wouldn't know about it until it's too late. We were at sunset, and I know a couple of the wires started to make a little bit of noise. I was questioning, but we were on our way down, so it was okay. But
And there was a lot of you going up.
yes, there
Like-
was. I do recall a lot more than I remember until I look back at the picture and you're like, oh, okay, well, that fence is pretty good.
Yeah, that fence did well because it was like half the fence was full. So we're starting to run down on time, so I'm going to give you a few moments here to thank your sponsors. Give us a little bit of a schedule update where you're going to be the next few weeks, plus where we can find you on social medias or the Elite Racing Team on social medias, or if you have any merchandise that we can go buy.
Yes. Okay. Well, obviously the Elite Racing page on Facebook is by far the best one to follow to keep updated with what we're doing and where we're at and how we're performing. We are actually working on merchandise. We just did post that on the Facebook page. I don't think we have a time on when the order is going to be in, but it will hopefully be soon, and we can start getting that stuff out there because it's always nice seeing people in your own race stuff. As far as what we're racing, we've decided to take the car to the Hanley Classic this weekend at sunset. So we're kind of full force gearing up for that, and we're actually just working on the car tonight to just kind of go over what we learned at Sauble on the weekend, and hopefully find the good from the bad and apply what we can make better, and show up with a hot rod for the Hanley Classic. That'll be good. It's a pretty long stretch of races here. We got the Hanley Classic this weekend, and then followed the weekend after is Sauble APC, and then right back to Sunset the week after that for the APC race there. So it's going to be a busy 3 weeks, but we'll have a lot of fun along the way.
Yeah, Sauble Sunset, Sauble Sunset. That's not at least you're kind of
Yeah.
consistent there, right? So
Yeah, back forth.
but let's say we gotta go through and you gotta get your sponsor list of everyone that keeps you on the track.
Yeah, definitely. So Elite Property Group, they're the main ones that are keeping this team going. I met with Brandon during the off season, and that was kind of when the crazy idea to go ASA racing came about, and then it just it unfolded into reality so quickly. And then obviously he kept it going to run APC full time. We got the commitment from Paragon office. Jamie's been just a longtime supporter of racing in general. I've can't remember a time I haven't seen them on a car with the team, and I've gotten the chance to know Jamie and meet them and be friends for a long time. So I really appreciate them being on board with this adventure, because it's definitely a different one, but it's been filled with a lot of fun and a lot of twists and curves per se. After that, where those are our two main ones that keep this operation going. We're always looking for more. Epic Racewear has been helping us out with obviously our merchandise is coming up. We got a really nice looking tent from them for the track to keep everyone cool. They're great to work with, so it's been a lot of fun with that. But there's more room on the car, and we love working with people.
I feel like you need to be sponsored by an ice cream company.
We talked about that, and that was actually we were talking about Fourth the Dairy, because we said it would be funny to go that way and run and be with them. But I don't know, that would be good and bad. I feel like I myself would be eating enough to make the deal worth it, but I'm not sure if that would be good for me in the long run.
Hey, you gotta represent the sponsor. You're just doing your part.
Exactly.
Especially if you get there for a fan appreciation night, you could be handing out like coolers full of ice cream sandwiches.
Now that'd be where it's at. I'd
Right?
be all for that.
Yeah, you just sit there having ice cream. Here you go, kid. Here you go. Here you go. Anyway, Joe, I thank you for joining me. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming races. And we hope to see some more beat.
Too, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
But